At just 13 years old, this boy was admitted to the best university in the country, but he never attended class. Instead, his favorite pastime was making bets with classmates on the rooftop. He placed the dice in a small bowl and tapped it on the table, inviting his peers to bet. None of them chose 3. With a confident smile, Lupin firmly gripped the bowl in his right hand, and a silver flash passed through it. In an instant, the dice changed from 5 to 3. The crowd let out a collective cry of disbelief. Lupin had won a significant amount of money, and he couldn't contain his glee as he swiftly took all the winnings. He generously left the bowl and dice on the table. The frustrated classmates searched the bowl inside and out but found no hidden tricks. Despite his winnings, Lupin couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness. With just a strand of hair, he could control the outcome of the game, but beating these kids no longer satisfied his competitive spirit. This young boy would one day grow into the famous master thief, Lupin III, capable of stealing treasures from all over the world. But at this moment, he was just a kid standing on the rooftop, watching a group of thugs break into their school. They were after a student named Jigen Daisuke, who would later become a renowned sharpshooter. Even as a child, Jigen's speed in drawing his gun was enough to intimidate anyone. In just 3 seconds, the thugs were so terrified by his expert marksmanship that they turned and fled. Lupin watched in awe, impressed by Jigen's precision. He stood there on the rooftop, watching as Jigen walked away, unaware that in 20 years, they would become allies, fighting side by side. With his winnings, Lupin and his gang went to a bar to relax. When he spotted Jigen in a corner, secretly negotiating with an arms dealer, he walked over to interrupt the conversation. His sudden appearance made the arms dealer quickly hide his weapons. As the deal was about to be ruined, Jigen, unimpressed by Lupin's flattery, mockingly called him a pampered rich kid and told him to leave. However, Lupin smiled provocatively, ready to argue back, but his attention was diverted by commotion on the stage. A group of men stormed the bar and tried to drag a singer off the stage. The frightened girl ran into Lupin's arms, and in a split second, Lupin flipped the carpet, knocking all the thugs down before they could react. Seeing his plan succeed, Lupin proudly announced to the onlookers, However, his heroic rescue soon hit a snag when the thugs pulled out guns. Surrounded by reinforcements, Lupin was forced to raise his hands and surrender. Helpless, Lupin called for help from Jigen, but Jigen, who looked down on him, showed no intention of helping. That's when Lupin calmly pulled out his secret weapon, 2 pure gold revolvers sliding down a fishing line. These were the very special guns the arms dealer had been selling to Jigen. Seeing his prized possession stolen, Jigen had no choice but to fire and rescue Lupin. Taking advantage of the confusion, Lupin grabbed the singer and made a run for it, only to be stopped by Jigen on the stairs. Not only did Lupin fail to return the revolvers, but he also complained to Jigen that he shouldn't have emptied the bullets in one go. This remark reignited the anger of the thugs, who charged at Lupin. He quickly shoved the singer aside and was then surrounded and beaten. Desperately trying to escape the crowd, Lupin managed to tear off part of a thug's belt, weaving through the throng, and nimbly climbed up a pillar. He eventually reached the 2nd floor and reunited with Jigen. After escaping the bar, they used the thug's car to flee. On the way, the singer revealed her identity. Her name was Yoko, and she worked as a performer at the bar. The thugs who had barged in were from the Kanto Mafia. When Lupin tried to ask more, Yoko playfully interrupted, saying children shouldn't be privy to adult dealings. To evade the Mafia's pursuit, Lupin took Yoko and Jigen back to his mansion.